Fellow's well over 90.
It's so comfortable. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. We should all be very grateful to Yamamoto.
Ah, even the bathroom is gorgeous.
In a place this beautiful, if I were able to have close contact with Yukimura. Oh, Yukimura. No matter how you look at it, it's still too much too soon for... coming.
Sorry to bother you.
Yukimura, it's late. Why are you...
I know we're of one mind, you and I. What we couldn't do earlier, we have to do now. I'm coming in.
Wait. Really? Here? I'm not emotionally prepared yet.
Do it again! When are you going to understand? You need to pause for 2.42 seconds there.
When I get nervous, I start talking faster and faster.
Do you really think you'll be able to make it through the presentations like that? Now, again!
And anyway,
I get
really
it.
a need to make
Kanade
an
has a
apology?
presentation tomorrow. But our experiment is important. I want to dive into your arms. But I can't. Even though you're so close. To think that it hurts this much. Could it be that this is what's called love? I had the same feeling yesterday, but... I knew it! My emotion counter, my I want to snuggle close to Yukimura count, showed a rapid increase starting at 8:13 a.m. yesterday. At that time, we were on the plane, and I forbade any physical contact in front of others. Which means that this is psychological reactance. When you're told to study, it makes you not want to study. When you're told, don't ever look, it makes you want to look. It's the state in which being told not to do something makes you want to do it even more. It's a natural human impulse, which means... my desire to nuzzle my forehead into Yukimura's chest isn't necessarily because I love him. I nearly based my decision on his intentions finally, and we'll have free time. We'll have plenty of opportunities for physical contact. I just have to hold on until then. Right now, I just need to focus on watching the underclassmen's presentations.
Himuro? Do I really have to present in front of this whole crowd? I'm like so not good at talking in front of lots of people I don't know.
Today, I see we have a total of 7 people presenting. Now, if the first person would like to proceed, we can start.
Hey, look.
Kanade, we know that guy.
He's one of the boys who talked to us on the beach yesterday. So he's here for the lab training camp too.
So, seeking Nash equilibrium in non-cooperative games comprised of large numbers of people through implementation of taboo search principles. That's the title. I'm from Tokyo University. My name is Naoya Shikijo.
I don't even understand the title of his presentation!
First off, I'll start by explaining Nash equilibrium. When the number of players in a non-cooperative game is n, we'll call player 1's the probability of any given action is P1, P2, continuing to PM. The value of
What am I gonna do? I don't have the slightest idea of what this guy's saying! What's he talking about, Himuro? Do you get it?
I understand the gist, but I have to admit, this is...
Now, with strategy
Excuse
Q...
me. May I ask a question?
Oh, please do.
It's about using a taboo search, when what you're looking for is Nash equilibrium. Taboo search is a commonly used method, correct? Has there been no similar research done?
Probably there has. In regards to games with lots of players.
Alright, so why did you choose the taboo search then?
Because, I guess some...
Nash equilibriums can exist in multiple circumstances. A genetic search-type algorithm which can run simultaneous searches would seem to be more effective. What advantages are there in utilizing a taboo search?
I guess it's just that it's...
I can't understand a single word of this whole conversation.
May I ask a question while we're at it?
Of course...
So, in what way does seeking Nash equilibrium prove useful to us?
Shikijo? Huh? If you can't answer, then you must clearly say that you don't know. Consuming our precious time with your silence is unconscionable.
I apologize. I don't know.
I did make you aware, didn't I? That you should investigate and become familiar with the points you just raised?
that if you didn't understand, you should come and ask me. That you should understand and prepare before presenting. You have been negligent. Why have you been researching? If you can't even explain that basic tenet, then you have been far too lax in your studies. It is disrespectful to those listening to you. If you cannot verbalize the purpose of your research, then we'll consider this the end of your presentation.
That's insane! They really punch you that full of holes at the presentations?
Well, that kind of stuff is bound a lot yesterday, didn't you?
I guess.
Now, for the next presenter, Kosuke Inukai. If you would, please.
Now that it's finally happening, all I can do is go for it. The man's man, Kosuke Inukai, is gonna blast his way right through this! I'm a fourth-year student at the Ikeda Lab, Kosuke Inukai. Presentation title, Romance Visual Novel Games with NP Hardness Choices. Got that? So, with all that being said, when you pick something that makes Aika happy, like this,
Then let's go! No dawdling now!
your likability level, an in-game indicator, increases. And if, in this branching story, you want to pick the route with the highest likability value and successfully arrive at Aika's longest path problem. This type of problem has been proven multiple times to be NP hard.
Longest path problems. But first, shortest path problems. That's a problem where you calculate the shortest path from start to finish, Bear. See, it's like that thing you lazy humans use on the internet all the time. It's super easy for a computer, Bear. Okay, but what if you searched for the longest route instead? Yep, you guessed it, that's the longest path problem. Now that is a super hard problem that even baffles computers, Bear. Just like the famous traveling salesman problem, people like to call this one NP hard. It's one tough nut to crack, Bear.
So, adult games are considered NP hard, and finding the solution should be our very next challenge. This guy's amazing.
He's seriously researching adult games?
He's a hero in more ways than one.
Excuse me. May I ask a question?
I'd be honored.
I'm not particularly familiar with this field of endeavor, so I apologize if this is a layman's question.
Super useful! If I could find an effective way to quickly complete any romance game, nothing could possibly make me happier in this world.
But there's no point if it's only of use to you, is there? Shouldn't you be doing more serious research?
What? I am super serious about this. What is it you don't appreciate about it?
I'm saying that researching romance games isn't useful in any way, shape, or form. Are you listening? We are involved in engineering. The foundational ideal of engineering is developing technology for humanity's sake. That's the greatest difference between this and the natural sciences. And that is why all of our engineering research must, at the end of the day, be something that contributes to the good of society.
Excuse me, Professor Kaku? This research theme was actually one I personally suggested to him some time ago.
Games are useful. They're fun. They're emotionally involving. They are the most widely used form of contemporary entertainment in the world today. As far as I'm concerned, they're what I live for. Pretty much every student in here has played a game, am I right? Or not? And there's gotta be plenty of adult gamers here too.
That is irrelevant. Your research has nothing to do with game creation. You're looking for a methodology that facilitates gameplay, correct?
Yeah, that's right. More and more pro gamers are emerging. Esports have become international competitions. This is an age where play-by-play gamers hold live events at Budokan. Even those on the consumer side of games, depending on how they play, can find all kinds of value in them. That's the age we live in. One day my research will be found useful! Oh yeah, bad-mouthing adult games like that's a no-no, Baldy!
Baldy! Listen! You had better watch what you're saying, kid!
That wasn't bad, Taraske.
To give the next presenter time to set up, we'll go ahead and take a 10-minute break.
Okay, now when this computer finishes the download, the output should... What's wrong, Kanade?
Yukimura, I don't feel like I can go through with this now. That first guy's research was super complicated and it wasn't good enough. Compared to his, my research doesn't even can't. It's just not good enough. Presenting in front of all those people. I can't.
Take a breath,
I can't.
Kanade. Calm down.
What do I do if I screw up? If everyone thinks I'm just weird? I couldn't take it.
Listen, Kanade.
We're going to begin the presentations again.
Next up is Kanade, huh? Boy, she seemed pretty freaked out back there. You think she's okay? I'll go down for a second and see how she's doing. I'm not worried at all about Kanade's presentation. She'll be fine. After all, Yukimura drilled her pretty hard, and... Yukimura... Oh, honestly! Come on, a little more self-control, please. Once the presentations are over, you can have all the physical contact you want with Yukimura, all right? With Yukimura...
Hey, get it together, Kanade.
I can't. I can't. present.
All right then, let's do this.
If I try, I'll only fail.
Kanade. Yukimura?
What do you think you're doing, Yukimura? Are you crazy?
And you? What did you sucker punch me for? It was an experiment by Leslie Seltzer at the University of Wisconsin.
Huh?
61 girls aged 7 to 12 were made to give a speech in front of a large crowd. Afterwards, their mothers embraced them, comforting them through physical contact. As a result, their oxytocin levels increased, and the levels of their stress hormone cortisol dropped significantly. I just emulated the experiment, that's all.
Right, now I see. Well, wait, that worked when their mothers did it, but you really shouldn't suddenly hug an undergrad girl like that.
There was no one else around. I didn't have any other choice. And it's your fault for being so frightened you wouldn't even listen to reason.
Why are you blaming it all on me? I'll tell the police. And now that I think of it, what would you do if Himuro saw you throwing yourself all over me like that?
That would...
Oh, you bet it does.
Excuse me. If you could begin now.
Yes, I'll be right there. Oh, for crying out loud. What was I so worried about? All that nervous tension's gone.
If you stop making such a fuss about it, you won't have any problems.
Yukimura's got such a sharp tongue, and he has no tact whatsoever, and he's unreasonable in everything he does.
Put that on. That'll be your armor.
Armor?
You've heard of the halo effect. If you wear a lab coat, even you will look slightly more intelligent.
What's that supposed to mean?
A lab coat is a symbol of wisdom. And don't forget that you have spent many days filled with diligent study, wearing one in the Ikeda lab. You know more about your own research theme than anyone else in that entire room.
Okay, don't let these guys defeat you. Saitama University Ikeda Lab. Kanade Kotonoha presenting. My title is The Variable... I'm scared, but... I'm okay. Yukimura made me practice until I couldn't take it anymore. My mouth and body will function all by themselves. First, if you'll please look at this photo. But are you really sure I can show this picture without any setup?
Won't make any difference. Just need to astound them immediately.
These are my seniors. A few weeks ago, they went on a date at an amusement park together. They sincerely and wholeheartedly wanted to enjoy their date. So they calculated the most efficient way to visit all the rides at the park, the optimal date course. They decided to use the traveling salesman problem. They visited every single destination at the park, and then eventually returned to the point where they had started. The problem was how to calculate the shortest route. It's the quintessential optimization problem. And many methods...
Sure, I bet you use that for dates.
Yeah, very funny.
However, the date in question was very complicated. There were wait times for the rides, and their plans were thrown into disarray for the wait times. Then they used those to recalculate the route with the shortest time. The variable latency traveling salesman problem. That's my proposal. Using this problem, it becomes possible to calculate an even more viable date course. I really think there are limitations to using TSP to plan a date. If you could at least add wait times into the calculation.
Why don't you go ahead and create that?
Huh?
Wow, that's great.
Sounds like something you could actually use.
Especially at an amusement park.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Aren't there any countermeasures for questions?
If you have time to think up such cheap tricks, then you can use that time to look at the previous research. You have to understand that the professors aren't asking questions to embarrass the students. If you don't know something, say so. Answer the questions with sincerity and engage in discussion.
I'd be honored.
Configuring the wait times at every single location requires that at the very least, all of the times would need to be confirmed in advance, correct?
It's quite difficult to make precise estimations, although... A lot of the time, an amusement park's daily wait time data has already been stored and cataloged. So we used that as our foundation. We had wait times if it's sunny on a weekend, waits during weekdays, things like that.
Well, I suppose that's the only thing you could do.
May I ask a small question as well?
Please do.
I do believe it's an interesting theme, but are you sure there's been no previous similar research done?
Well... Actually, doing my research, I couldn't find any others.
Really? You couldn't?
Well, there was one, and it did seem sort of similar, too. The time-dependent traveling salesman problem. In this problem, the travel time from destination to destination changes depending on the time of the trip. It isn't the points that change, it's the significance of the surroundings. Oh, and that's just within the area that I was able to investigate. There may be more research, but I couldn't find it. You wouldn't happen to have heard of similar research, would you, sir? If you have, I'd love to—
Oh, no, Cicada's lab for you. It's only been 4 months since you joined, and yet you've done some excellent research.
Read these immediately. They're important for your research. They'll be useful one day.
Thanks. A nagging senior trained me from the very beginning.
There's no need to call me nagging.
I am so sorry!
A lively exchange of opinion is important during a presentation. Calling a Professor Baldi, however, is of questionable taste.
I just got all fired up.
Inukai, right? My, that was a wonderful debate, wouldn't you say? I have to tell you, it's been a long time since I did that. I haven't had a student snap back at my questions like that in more time than I can even recall. Presentation!
Yes, sir!
Yukimura?
Himuro. It's nice that Kanade's presentation went off without a hitch, huh?
Yukimura. What were you doing with Kanade earlier?